Good evening, my friends, and welcome to another episode 1. We're playing Haven Moon. It's a Myst-like in the purest form, developed by François Roussel, and I hope I'm getting that name correct. Individual content creator, individual developer, it seems to be. This game was released in 2016 and boasts Myst as a direct inspiration. Let's check out the README file. Thanks for playing Haven Moon. Ever since I played Myst for the first time when I was a teen, I have tried to recreate the same incredible experience that game offered. From my first experiments with early 3D software to the release of this game, it took me around 20 years to acquire the skills necessary to create this all by myself. I'm extremely happy with the result, and I'm sharing it with you right now, and I hope I'll be worthy of the Mystlike name and delight the enthusiasts of this genre. Haven Moon is a peaceful game based on observation, listening, and reflective thinking. You can take all the time you want to explore and solve its puzzles. No one will come to bother you here. The puzzles are neither too hard nor too easy. Likewise, the length of the adventure is neither too long nor too short. Everything has been balanced to provide a relaxing experience and pleasant time spent in an imaginary world. This game represents a huge amount of hard work, and I thank you in advance for respecting it. Please use legal copies. If you encounter a problem, it's better to contact me directly rather than using the comment system of various distribution platforms. I hope you'll enjoy playing Haven Moon as much as I've enjoyed making it. François Roussel. Amazing. I love that he's put that in there. That's great. So there is no title screen to this game. You are launched into the game immediately. But for the benefit of the recording, let me just play you what happens at the start of this game, okay? Now we're already 2 minutes into the recording, so my YouTube retention has probably already dropped off a cliff, given that... It's probably already dropped off a cliff, given that in the first 30 seconds I didn't start playing the game already. But here we go. We zoom into an island, and this opens in front of us. So that looks a little bit like an astrolabe, doesn't it? And we have a button in the centre, which does not appear to be pressable. Ah, we have a letter. Welcome to Seleos, the moon of the planet Menra. After a cataclysmic event, Menra was destroyed. Since I was on Seleos when it happened, I was spared and became the last survivor of my civilization. With all the machinery at my disposal, I made a teleporter that has the ability to scan the universe and look for people from other worlds. If you are reading this message, it means this device worked correctly, but it also means that I can't be there in person to welcome you. In that case, I wish to give you my treasure, patiently collected during my lifetime. The key on the back of this device contains the teleportation coordinates that allow you to activate the Aetion and go back home. Ektor Turren. So, there is a key on the back of the device. Okay. So, the key on the back of the device... So, Mr. Turren, presumably, is no more. He has met an unfortunate demise, hence why he can't be here to see us. This is presumably... We somehow need to input the coordinates here. But okay. So, stairs to the left, stairs to the right. Let's explore to the left first. But it's... Do you know what? I see the inspiration immediately, right? It's observatories and domes and... very sort of steampunk. I've heard that Jules Verne was an inspiration as well. Aha, right, hang on, maybe we'll go a bit closer here. Okay, so we've got a thing that can rotate. power. Very reminiscent of the Selentic spaceship, right? Wow, that just keeps on going. Okay. Is it a turbine or is it a propeller? I mean, presumably, if we can get a sense of which way the water is flowing, if we lower that into the water, it's going to generate power. Yeah? Does it generate power, or is it powered? Ah. Yes, it generates power. Minimum is 8, apparently. Right, presumably minimum is 8 to be able to pull that. So let's try and point it, say, 90 degrees. What are we at now? Oh wow, we're at full power basically there. Seleos awakens. First achievement. Cool, great. Oh hey, we now have lights. That's great. Okay, do we have guardrails? We do have guardrails. Nice. We have ladders, but they do not go down anywhere. Okay. We have a beacon doing its thing. So we'll leave that for now. We can shift to run, but I think it's just better to sort of take our time, really. So we've got a big building with a T, and we have that observatory over there. It's quite a small island, actually, isn't it? It's sort of on the same kind of scale as the Myst Island. Oh, wait a minute. It's a cable car! Tiny Train's in the chat. Excellent. So what does this say? Base, lab, house. Not sure what that's doing, but... Ah, there's nothing in here to make it go. Can't close the doors. Pull? So charge is currently at 7 and a bit. Okay, we'll have a think about that one. Little bit unclear what we need to do there. So we'll check out that observatory in just a second. Is this out? Yep, that beacon's still going. Now here's the thing, how do we access our inventory? I haven't even really thought about that. But we have got... a workshop. Electric cannon! Brilliant. Facing the base island is an island composed of 2 craters where I built a laboratory to experiment on wireless electricity transmission. It was due to these experiments that I was able to master the techniques used by the teleporter that brought you here. The access to this facility is protected by a code. That of the laboratory is composed of the number of its beacon flashes followed by its horizontal coordinates. I'll have to have a think about that one. Are these pages in order? From Menra, Seleos is a wonderful sight. This moon, completely covered with water, seems to shimmer constantly. At daytime, its unique ocean reflects the sunlight, and at night, because of its vast stormy zones, it sparkles like a precious stone. For thousands of years, Seleos has captivated the imagination of everyone who has ever lived on Menra, and during my whole life I have always dreamed to travel there. Thanks to the success of my inventions in many technical and scientific fields, I had a huge fortune at my disposal to make this dream come true. For many years I have studied Seleos' surface. I drew maps of its stormy and calm zones. I also discovered the presence of many small islands where it would be possible to settle down. Using various means at my disposal, I engineered an airship able to travel in space and bring everything necessary for me to build a base on Seleos. The first island that has been set up is the one on which you're currently standing. It has a docking platform for the 2 airships going back and forth between Menra and Seleos, an office with a telescope facility on top, an electric turbine, and a port to moor the exploration boat. To easily find your way at sea, each part has a beacon that can be identified by the number of times it flashes. If the weather is clear, it is possible to see the beacon of any of the other islands because of the islands' proximity to each other. After discovery of the other islands, and once new facilities were built on them, I had a network of stations set up for a small electrical airship that facilitated movement from one facility to another. I still need to improve the reliability of its battery, whose capacity deteriorates quickly. Facing the base island is an island composed of 2 craters where I built a laboratory to experiment on wireless electricity transmission. It was due to these experiments that I was able to master the techniques of the teleporter. To access this facility is protected by a code. That of the laboratory is composed of the number of its beacon flashes followed by its horizontal coordinates. Okay, so we are definitely going to grab a screenshot of that clue, right? So off to our notebook, and there's our clue in our notebook. Right, good. Then what do we have? We have the house. And ascending the stairs. Ah, very interesting. Signal strength 0. So if I go out and look up in the sky, I see a moon, presumably. So Telescope Island, this is where I am currently. Ah, right. Cannon Island. A lot of bits and pieces on it there. Fine. This is the whole thing. We've got House Island, Laboratory Island, Cannon Island, Telescope Island. doesn't appear that you can move this thing, though. Fine. But if we go and try and find a location, let's see if we can point to Laboratory Island. So that's basically directly north, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I look for like 5, 5 on here. Ooh, opened. Right. Interesting. Okay. So if you go to 360, that should point directly north. Oh, right click will do it downward. That's nice. So actually we want to go all the way back down to 0. So that'll point us directly north, which should be in the direction of Laboratory Island, I would presume. Now, he also talked about the island's horizontal coordinate, which could be 0. Okay, so if you do 0 on this, on the y-axis, that might point you to... Oh, no. Oh, I thought that might point us directly upward. No, it might be directly horizontal. In which case, this is probably going to point directly up the other island. Maybe. How far round do you think it's going to go? Well, no signal. Okay. That of the laboratory is composed of the number of beacon flashes followed by its horizontal coordinates. Well, laboratory, horizontal coordinate is like 5 if you're counting the big squares, or 0 if you're taking a bearing. Anything written on the back of any of these boards? That does look well sus, doesn't it? Like, why would there be a door out here if you weren't going to be looking out the back of any of those boards, you know? Okay. So, first sort of big puzzle, then. Well, we can certainly count the number of flashes, that's fine. How many flashes are we doing here? Well, that's 15 so far. Ooh, okay. Am I missing something there then, in terms of its flashing beacon? Ah! Now that we have power, we can turn this on. Well, that doesn't really do very much on its own. So that, I'm assuming, is the control for this. And as he says, you'll get the code to go back home, that sort of tells me that we're not supposed to be fiddling with that yet. Ooh, okay. That definitely sounded a little different when the second one clicked into place, didn't it? Well, there's not much to explore on this island yet. And of course you can't jump, right? So unlike Quern, where of course jumping played an incredibly important part of the game, there is no jump here. It's 10. I mean, it appears to keep going. Oh, blimey. Well, I mean, you know, this game is clearly not messing about with its puzzles. Like... No? Okay, pressing that again then doesn't do anything. Right. Maybe we want to try and get a signal from the beacon. We could point the telescope at that beacon, possibly. It's pretty much straight down that line. So if 0 is that direction, you're probably looking at around about 100, about 200 or so degrees. Well, can we work it out exactly? Because it's basically point directly in that direction, isn't it? Yeah. Now 0... 0's not quite pointing directly in that direction. So if I look at Telescope Island... Yeah, 0 is pointing north, right? The beacon we want to look at is pretty much exactly there. Yeah, you can see it on there. So is that 45 degrees basically bang on? If we were to go 1 up and 1 over, you're there, 1 up and 1 over, you're there, 1 up and 1 over, you're there. Yeah, it's basically 45 degrees down that way. So it's 180 plus 45. So that's 225. Let's try that out. Tell you what, if this is actually a thing, like that would be definitely a bit different. I've not actually had to read coordinates or a bearing off a map in a long, long time, you know. Well, I say that. I mean, there was a very similar puzzle in Obsidian, wasn't there? Right, in the desert with the sand castle. That was alright. Obsidian is a very, very underrated game. Okay, is that going to point to our thing? No, not quite. It's pretty close though, isn't it? Tap, tap, signal. Okay, you can't go negative with it. Let's try wiggling it backwards and forwards, right? See if we can see it. Yeah, okay. No obvious... I was wondering if that, like, fluttering on the camera was anything, but I think that's just graphical fluttering. I don't think that's the beacon itself. It's a weird one though, isn't it? Because, you know, it's on the horizon. So if the telescope is pointing straight, you'd expect it to get it. Let's just sort of have a look at my alignment a little bit. I mean, it's pretty much there. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the code. Facing the base island is an island composed of 2 craters. Aha. The access to this facility is protected by a code. That of the laboratory is composed by the number of its beacon flashes. So not our beacon flashes, its beacon flashes. Followed by its horizontal coordinates. Has a docking platform for the 2 airships going back and forth. An office with a telescope facility on top, an electric turbine, and a port to moor the boat. Easily find your way at sea. Each port has a beacon that can be identified by the number of times it flashes. If the weather is clear, it's possible to see the beacon of any of the other islands because of the island's proximity to each other. After the discovery of the other islands, once new facilities were built on them, I had a network of stations set up for a small electrical airship that facilitated movement from one facility to another. I shall need to improve the reliability of the battery. Just checking. You never know. Nope, that's just a side panel. Just a regular chest of drawers, that is. And that's... yeah, there's nothing in there. Nothing in there. Okay. So the laboratory is in that direction. And he says you should be able to see the beacon on a clear day. I don't see nothing. Maybe this is a little bit like, where are you going from, where do you want to go to kind of situation. I don't know. House to the lab. Yes, right, okay. It's a you start off and you go to. We've seen similar controls in Myst before, haven't we? Okay, great. So we're on our way to Laboratory Island. And presumably we'll be able to navigate to any of the other islands in this way as well. Oh dear. I feel a little bit embarrassed that that all took that long, to be honest. But okay. Ah. Do you know what? I really do. I'm really loving the aesthetic. I really am loving the aesthetic. That's the code. Yes? Number of beacon flashes followed by its horizontal coordinates. Maybe. Can we find its beacon? So we have a beacon here. Right. It flashes twice. So we're going to leave that beacon on. Ah. Anything? No. So, this beacon flashes twice. The coordinates, its horizontal coordinates. Well, I felt like its horizontal coordinates were 5. So, do we reckon 0, 2... 0, 2, 0, 5? No. So it's horizontal coordinate. Well, it's in the middle of the map. Now it was sort of 5 along. Its bearing from our landing spot was just 0. So no. could be 2 on here. And then, what would you have? 0005? No. Okay. Further thought needed. Aha, and you can only go and return. Possibly because its battery is really dodgy. Yeah. Oh, we can see the beacon now. That's a nice touch. At this point, it's probably a good idea to say, hey, if you're enjoying this playthrough and you'd like to see more episodes of Haven Moon, consider hitting that like button, consider hitting that subscribe button. We play all kinds of puzzle games on this channel, and... Oh no. Oh, we don't have enough charge. Yeah. We play all kinds of puzzle games on this channel, and you know what? If you've been watching me for half an hour, and you're still here, chances are you'll probably come back for episode 2, maybe? Yeah, I guess we just don't have enough charge to get to the house. So, yeah. Hit that subscribe. So if we want to go to the cannon, is that going to be enough? Yes, we can get to the cannon. Oh, it's dark here. Oh, it's all stormy. Oh. Is it genuinely locked? That's weird, isn't it? Well, I don't want to just head straight back. That doesn't sound like it makes sense. But, oh, here we go. Hidden door! Hidden door. I thought that window was something. Okay, we need power. Are we... So there's no power available to this panel at all. Nothing on the back of the door. I don't think, anyway. No, doesn't look like it. I can't open these. So, do we get power by upgrading the battery? Which he clearly kind of alluded to in his letter. The battery's not terribly good. So I think the next thing we're supposed to be able to do... Pretty sure the next thing we're supposed to be able to do is get into the laboratory. Yeah? So it's the number of its beacon flashes, which is 2, followed by its horizontal coordinates. Right, that's the laboratory's horizontal coordinates. Ah, keep missing the stairs. So if I have a look at the laboratory itself, where do we enter from? We enter from here. I mean, it's dead on halfway, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe it's 4.5? I'm trying to remember back to my, like, year 9 geography, where it's like, if you want to do coordinates on a map, it's the number of squares, so this would be square 4, 5, but then it's also like you divide the box itself by 10. But so is it 02, 5, 5? Do you reckon it's 02, 5, 5? Could be. Let me grab a screenshot of that map so that we can just refer to it in a minute. So when we look out here, well, Laboratory Island is 5, 1, 2, 3, well, yeah, 5, 5. It's horizontal. It's horizontal coordinates. Okay, let's try 5, 5. 02, 5, 5. Now, if you say, well, I want to go from the lab, or you want to go from the lab to the base, is that... It does. I wonder if that's some kind of reversing the polarity of the energy kind of thing, and whether that will open the door for us. But no, I'm assuming we've got to upgrade the battery. So 02, 5, 5. Shoot. Horizontal coordinate. Horizontal coordinate. Baffling. Baffling. So, we are indeed here. Unless this is considered 0, 0. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, maybe. No, that would have been a real stretch. That would have been a real stretch. Composed of the number of its beacon flashes followed by its horizontal coordinates. Oh, maybe it is the horizontal coordinates of the beacon. And the beacon's here. So it's more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the 6th one. So it's more like 6, 4. Something like that. Or like 6, 3 or 6, 4. No, still not working. Oh dear. How do I not know what a horizontal coordinate is? If I go back to 5, 4 or 5, 3, if it's the alternate way. Ah, shoot. Okay, fine. I guess. I mean, it's definitely flashing twice. So I do not have a problem with that aspect of it. But you know what? We're coming to the end of this episode, and I don't think I'm going to get that by the end of this episode. There's one more thing I want to try, which is reversing the levers going to the electricity gun, right? Just to see if that actually makes a difference. And I want to fiddle around with a couple of other lever combinations as well. But if you've got an insight, into that laboratory code, write me a hint into the comment section below. Yeah, give us a hint. Okay. So if I do base at the top and cannon at the bottom, right, I've reversed the polarity. So now it's not working. What if I have house at the bottom? Well, that's interesting. So I could get there before. No, I can go there now. Maybe I was trying to leave too quickly, like maybe the battery hadn't charged up or something. But okay, the polarity's a little reversed now. I'm hoping this auto-saves. We've also not checked, how do we get to our... So I don't think we have an inventory as such, but we are holding something right bottom. Yeah, we've still got no power here. And that indeed does nothing. Right, okay. So, where we need to go is we need to go into the laboratory. We need to have a real think about what reading a horizontal coordinate entails. However, that's going to be all we have time for in today's episode. Okay, hold up. Wait. So, yes, it's the next day. Yes, I know I already ended the episode, but I had one idea last night that I wanted to try first. We've tried pointing the telescope at this beacon here. Can we point it at the other beacon? Because maybe it's... Because what I was thinking was that this is a 3-digit number, right? And this is also horizontal and vertical. And the number of flashes is a 1-digit number. So we can get a 4-digit number out of this. If it's what I think, right? So it's gonna be very close to 0. Okay. This is very bottom of the map. This might just be just like an extra 5... Oh no, wait, we've got to go back down to 0, don't we? This might just be like an extra 5-minute whatever on the end of the video. And it might be nothing. But I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking about what is the point of the telescope? And I was thinking, how do you get 4 digits out of 2 things? The number of flashes, which is 1 digit. And I was thinking, how can I get a 3-digit coordinate? And yeah. So it hit me last night. And I just want to see if that's a thing before we go and take a hint. Right? We've also got this signal scope here as well. You know, we're looking for flashes. Looking for flashes which aren't just graphical glitching like that. Oh, that's it. Is the answer 0, 0, 0? We're dead centered and we can see the signal. Like, that's dead center. I reckon even if we added 1 to that, nah, it'd be way off. Way off. So is the answer 2, 0, 0, 0? Let's find out. Let's find out. Back to the lab. Back to the laboratory. It's a weird code. It's a weird code. Like, I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on it. Let's have a little look. 2, 0, 0, 0. Oh! All right, door to knowledge, achievement unlocked. That is going to be the real end of the episode there. All right, I'll see you next time. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Bye for now. Have a great week.